Hello everyone, this is Tim. This is going to be a video response to, I think it's Darth Hessian. Let's see here, I'm gonna look at it real quick. Yeah, Darth Hessian. And this is the first time I've actually interacted with his channel at all. I just subscribed. So he was inspired by Runeslinger's video response to my 13 questions video. Hold on, Wes, I gotta make a video. And I'm sorry, getting distracted here. He basically said, there's a lot of gamers that are also metalheads. So he was curious to see, who out there listens to metal, and what their take on it is. Why are they into it so much? And so I figured I'd do a response. Mine might be a little different than maybe some of the other people's, so I figured I'd do a quick one. We're gonna talk about music. So, as you can tell, my son's around. He's out of preschool, so it makes filming video response a little bit difficult, but I'm going to give it a shot. So, as far as metal goes, I think when I was young, I was like into classic rock because my father was into that. I dabbled a little bit with like rap and popular music, but whenever like Megadeth's Countdown to Extinction album came out and the Metallica Black album, those two albums really kind of like grabbed me by the ears and just like shook my head. They made me pay attention and listen, and I really got into those two albums, and then I started going backwards in time, finding some of their older albums, Metallica, Megadeth. Some of the Iron Maiden stuff was cool. I wasn't as much into them as the other two bands. And as far as my favorite metal band, it's probably Megadeth. I've talked a little bit in previous videos about Megadeth, but what are you doing? Does Daddy like music with lots of drums?
Yeah.
And lots of guitars?
Yeah.
And lots of screaming?
Yeah.
Rah, 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 rah. What does Dad's music sound like? So yeah, I've exposed my kids to some of the music that I've been into, and yeah, it's been interesting seeing their response to some of this stuff. My son always asks for, "Daddy, I like the one with the drums." So yeah, I'll play some stuff for them from time to time. But yeah, I've been a gamer for a long time. I started playing when I was like 8 or 9. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. So yeah, a big Megadeth fan, and I've seen them I think maybe 3 or 4 times now. They did a tour basically based on their like Rust in Peace album, and they went and did shows in all the same spots that they had done during that time, during that series of concerts. And they did one in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, which is like right down the road from me. And even though the venue wasn't the greatest, we were like all in seats and you couldn't really like slam into each other and sing along. So yeah, I've seen Megadeth a bunch of times. I've seen them in Greensburg, like I was trying to just say a little bit ago. I've had a blast seeing them every time. I think I saw them in the Ross Draver Ice Garden years back with a friend of mine who was really into Megadeth, and I bumped into him at like McDonald's. So as far as gaming and metal goes, I've been into gaming longer. Metal came later, but yeah, they're both an escape. Music for me always kind of takes me away. People probably know me on Facebook. I tend to post a lot of lyrics from metal songs and really just any songs I'm into at the time. I really tend to get into the lyrics of things. Like when, especially like Megadeth songs, Dave Mustaine takes on the point of view of someone telling a story. Like he gets into different people's shoes, and different songs are about different events, and I really like that about him. It actually kind of reminds me of role playing, to be honest. Taking a different character on, a different role. I like that a lot of metal songs deal with like apocalyptic type situations, and there's lots of sci-fi and fantasy mixed into a lot of metal songs. So that, I guess, is kind of like the Venn diagram where like you got RPGs and metal and they kind of overlap. And I do like those instances when those things overlap. I like those themes in songs and lyrics about those sort of situations and characters and events. And yeah, it's with I guess maybe I'm a stereotypical guy because I'm depressed. I listen to metal and I play games. I don't know, but that's all part of me, I guess. And for me, metal really motivates me to, gives me energy. Whenever I can't motivate myself to clean up or take care of like responsibilities and things, I've noticed that I tend to put on metal to get my heart going and get me excited and just get my limbs moving. There's times that it really kind of motivates me to get done what needs to get done. A lot of times I'll have to have like, like an album playing on my laptop as I'm, washing dishes, for instance. So I don't know how exciting that is to listen to, but yeah, that's what I do to get through my daily tasks sometimes. So yeah, it gives me energy when I'm riding down the road. I've heard people say things like, you seem like a pretty like normal guy or whatever, but whenever I see you riding down the road, you look angry. That's probably because I listen to metal, and metal definitely influences that. I think it does make me angrier at times, but it's kind of cathartic. So it's in the same way that RPGs are cathartic. I get a lot of that stuff out of me that's in there that I don't know how to express otherwise. So yeah, metal is a big part of my life. I can't remember what I filmed so far, but just trying to describe, what I'm into. Like I like a lot of the like unblack or white metal or like Christian metal bands like Extol, Living Sacrifice, Demon Hunter. I just got into, I think it's Antestor the other day. I was listening to some of their stuff. There's a lot of bands. August Burns Red is is a pretty good band. Really think anything on like the Solid State Records album or label. Yeah, sorry, not album. They're usually pretty good, so I listen to a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I think these days my musical taste tends to wander a little bit. But metal is my core. That's really what I mostly listen to during the day when I'm, like I said, trying to get stuff done. So yeah, are any of my subscribers out there metalheads in addition to gamers? Is that what you mostly get into, mostly listen to? Are your taste a little bit more varied than that? Like for instance, I've been listening to a lot of like retro '80s like synth music lately. I just like Perturbator, I think is the band's name. I can never remember their name. But yeah, it sounds like soundtracks to like '80s like action flicks, and I've been listening. That kind of motivates me too to get going. So I've been listening to more of that. Some new bands I've been listening to like Maximum, the Hormone, which I think they did the intro song to the Death Note anime. So I found them, I think, via that show, and they're just crazy. I like bands these days too that are just nuts. They just throw all kinds of just different genres, different styles of music, and they throw them into like a blender. Like I Wrestled a Bear once. It's just insane. I've seen them. I think I've only seen them once, but that concert was amazing. I really got kind of messed up at that concert. My back, I don't think still is right after that. I'm pretty sure I got a concussion that show. I remember just deciding that I was going to jump up in the air and land on my back. Like, I do crazy stuff at shows. This is probably why I don't go to as many as I used to. In my youth, I beat the hell out of myself. And there's something about going to a metal show. Maybe I should talk about this too. I think I might have actually talked about this before in an older video, but where when you're in the crowd, you're sweaty, you're like tired and sore from trying to keep bodies away from you or moving around or slamming into people. It just takes all of that out of me, all the anger, all the angst, sadness, whatever. And I'm like singing my heart out, like to especially if it's a band that I'm really into, screaming lyrics, and I just feel empty, but in the best possible way empty could be. Like it just drains me of all that negativity and all the stuff that's just like locked up in me and just gone. And there's something about just being in a mosh pit and just getting the crap kicked out of me that just makes me happy. I mean, it kind of makes me think, okay, maybe I'm more damaged than I think I am, but there's just something about it. It's just, it's exhilarating. It's like nothing else. So I really enjoy going to a show. I do not think I'm a happier person than when I just get out of a metal show, especially if it's a band that I'm really into. And a friend of mine talked to me about that one day. He's like, that's interesting. I never heard anybody tell me, something like that. It was just the violence of it, the physicality of it, you're just drained of energy from all that exertion and screaming, and It's a great time to go to a show. I wish I went to more of them. I haven't gone to a show in a long time. I think 2010 might be the last concert that I went to. That was that Megadeth Rust in Peace concert that I talked a little bit about. Oh, I got to go to more shows, man. I really do. And I remember the last time, maybe it wasn't the Megadeth show, but it was one before. I can't remember which one it was. And I remember seeing all the faces lit up by their cell phones, and I remember thinking, oh, you're at a concert. Why not pay attention to the concert? You can talk on your phone anytime you want. So I'm definitely like the old man at the shows now. I feel like the chaperone, that I'm still into like this crazy music or whatever. And maybe it's keeping me a little bit young. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely felt like the old man on campus at that show. Oh man, fun times. But yeah, definitely into metal. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see that I listen to a lot of different bands, and I like to quote them. I'm very 90s, I guess, like the White Wolf, quoting songs at the beginning of every chapter. That's kind of how I live my life. So I'm kind of like a White Wolf splat book, just in my daily life. So yeah, hopefully you appreciate that. All right, thanks for the cool video, and I'll talk to you later.